Here's my goal. Drive to Seattle, Washington from California. Think of the sights and smells yet to be discovered by me. The very first Starbucks, the flower market or something. I don't know, I'm going to Seattle. I left early morning and made great progress before being stopped in traffic for a couple hours because of a landslide. I eventually made it to my hotel on Easy Street and never went outside except for breakfast the next day. I walked a bunch of trails the next day and basked in the sun and cliffsides that make up the Oregon coastline. I also found this wicked awesome tree. I drove around looking for a place to eat, and in my exploration I took a few videos of the beauty that you can only find in Oregon. If I wasn't driving while starving, I probably could have taken some amazing shots of the scenery. Not realizing where I was and just wanting food, I then went to an upper class fine dining fancy restaurant in my hiking clothes while everyone else there was dressed to impress at this fine dining establishment. My waiter escorted me to a table in a dark corner away from everyone else so they don't have to see the poor that I look like. The food was delicious, and I kept on driving. The way Oregon built cities along the coastline is truly breathtaking. I drove through most of the night and admired the scenery. I found myself at the Oregon Coast Aquarium and explored everything thrice to make sure I saw everything and unlocked my mini-map completely. There's a lot of fish and birds, as you would expect at an aquarium. It was awesome. 4 out of 5 stars. I found myself in another coastal town filled with tourist type things to do and spent the rest of the day there. I ended up going to the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum. There's more than one Ripley's Believe It or Not museum, but they're worth checking out, and they are always full of weird things found around the world. People, animals, anything odd is what Ripley's is all about. Like the aquarium, Ripley's was also very awesome. 4 out of 5 stars as well, I guess. After a night of sleeping in my car, I found myself walking around on more trails that opened up to a beach on the coastline. I explored the vast open dunes on the beach and took a bunch of pictures that all look the same, but are still very pretty. After being bored every night, I bought a book from a store that looked like it wasn't doing too well, and decided to support the small business. Turns out the owner was retired and just didn't want to sell books anymore, but whatever, at least I found a book that kept me occupied every night. I walked along one of many docks and found a fun restaurant with amazing food for a low price. I eventually made it into Washington. My goal of reaching Seattle was getting closer. But sleeping in my car started to seem like a luxury as I started to stay in my next motel. The neighbors were constantly fornicating. More neighbors had children that screamed endlessly. At least a car in an empty parking lot is quiet. I'm not even going to show you what the blacklight revealed in my motel room. I went to go get dinner from a nearby bar. My food was great. After getting the minimal amount of sleep, I checked out of my sleazy motel and found myself at the capital of Washington. I honestly had no idea this was the capital until weeks after I had been there. I forgot my 5th grade geography but I enjoyed my time in Olympia. I played a lot of Pokemon Go while ignoring the homeless and took a lot of pictures that only I would probably look at for long periods of time in admiration. I found a nice restaurant and checked into another sketchy motel. Checking into the hotel was confusing and weird. There were signs to use a doorbell, there were signs on the doorbell to use another door, the other door says to go back to the first door and use the doorbell, but there's more than one doorbell, and blah blah blah. I wish I filmed it so you could see just how confusing it was. The person at the front desk made me wait 30 minutes as they bleached the floor of my hotel room. Yet once I got to my room, many things were still dirty. There was also a window in the bathroom that looks straight into someone else's room, but there's no ventilation of any sort, so the window really needed to be open at least a little, forcing the chance for a peek into my bathroom. After one last night of cheap, uncomfortable motels and sleeping in empty parking lots, I made it to my destination. Seattle, baby! I went to Pike's Place Market and saw the gum wall in the middle of COVID, visited Bruce Lee's grave, and put zero effort to see the Space Needle, so I only saw it from afar. I also went to school for stuntmen, but that's besides the point. I definitely went to Seattle for tourism and not for stunt school. Maybe. So anyways, I guess I'm a stuntman now, and then I went back home to California. In my next video, I'm gonna show the whole thing of me going back home to California from Seattle. It's just as entertaining, I promise. So now here's some bloopers. There's more than one doorbell and blah blah blah. I wish I filmed it so you could... Oh, why would you message me right now? There was also a window in the bathroom that looked straight into someone... Oh, come on, shut up. I drove around looking for a place to eat, and in my exploration, I took a few videos. Okay, bye!